readers, book lovers, and storytellers. Welcome to another Reader's Magnet featured author interview. My name is Jean, and I'll be your host for today. And of course, with us today is our guest of honor, our Reader's Magnet valued author who believes in applying biblical principles to every situation in her life. Please help me welcome Tish Barnhardt. Welcome, Tish. How are you doing?
Hey, I am fine, Jean. Thank you so much for having me on your show today. Thank you.
And thank you so much also for showing up. We are all blessed to have you today and is very excited to get to know you more at the same time, to get to know the book of yours, which is entitled So You Want to Be a First Lady?
Yes, yeah,
What's your answer to that question?
yes, indeedy. So you'll want to be a first lady. I'm telling you.
I
Uh,
do.
yes, you want to be a first lady, Jean? Oh my
Of
goodness.
course. Who else doesn't want to? All right.
Well, listen, you need to get a hold of this book so you can go in with your eyes wide open, okay?
Exactly, exactly. And I believe our online viewers are also excited to answer your question. So you want to be a first lady, right? Okay, so for us to know you more and for us to see what is the book all about, I want you to show us your book. Please
Yes,
do.
absolutely. Here it
There
is.
you go. And that's wow, I
Yeah,
love the cover of your book. It's
thank you
so
so much.
stunning. It's stunning.
Yes.
It says very good when it comes to, women empowerment. All right.
Believe it or
Well,
not,
thank you.
Jean, God gave me a vision of how the cover to this book should look. And so I
Wow.
woke up one morning and there it was, the vision. And so I started trying to figure out what I could do to kind of get this look, and it took me
Exactly.
33 different times of taking this picture with to get it
Oh my
right.
God. I
Yes,
see. I see.
indeed.
Well, definitely that's the best cover that you've come up with, and I believe everyone loves it. I do
Thank-
love it personally.
Yes, lots of
Exactly.
compliments on it.
Absolutely. It's very nice. Good to hear. So yes, the book title itself, So You Want to Be a First Lady, and this book of Tish Barnhart is available in Amazon, Barnes and Noble at the same time, her very own website, which is www.tishbarnhart.com. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am, you got it.
Exactly, exactly. All right. So before anything else, we would like to hear a word from Tish Barnhart, and we wanted to hear some interesting facts about you. Can you share to us three interesting facts about who Tish Barnhart is?
Well, interesting enough, you guys out there, I am also a minister of the gospel.
Wow.
Jean had mentioned that I love applying biblical principles to each and every part of my life. And that's one of the reasons why. And that's definitely my foundation on everything that I do, keeping God at the
Mm.
forefront of that. And then, oddly enough, too, I am a talk show host of the Tish Barnard Show, you guys. So I air on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV through the Daily Gospel Network channel
Mm.
on Sundays at 8 o'clock, Wednesdays at 5, and Fridays at 6. So you guys say you got 3 times to be able to catch the show.
Exactly.
And
Right.
interesting fact is I love to look at houses, you guys. Oh my gosh. I just love driving through neighborhoods, going through
Wow.
virtual tours, anything about any house. I just love it. My kids used to get upset at me all the time. Oh my gosh, mom, we gotta go look at another house. Like it's a hobby, you guys. I love doing it. So those are my three
Exactly.
facts.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Tish. And that was actually interesting, especially the third one. Talking
Hmm.
about houses, what type of house do you like the most?
Well, I love the stucco houses and the houses that
Stuck
have like
house?
the stone, yeah, the stones on the front
Oh,
and brick. Oh, it's just so
right.
beautiful. Yes, it's so
Bricks.
beautiful.
I love bricks actually. And the
Yes.
design, right. The design of the house that I love the most is A-frame houses. I love
Uh-huh.
that.
Yeah, they're nice. The A-frame is nice.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh my God, we're talking about houses right now.
I know, right?
That's true. Well, then again, yes, yeah, talking about houses, it's really awesome to see, unique designs at all.
Hmm.
And yeah, that's for sure a very good hobby. I may not have that, but yeah, hopefully one day. Okay, I will try looking at the neighborhood doing that. So, Tish, you are actually a minister at the same time an author, right? It's
Hmm.
yeah, it's something that is relatable, and of course your book is having those biblical principles that you've got. And talking
Absolutely.
about your book entitled "So You Want to Be a First Lady," it's very
Mhm.
interesting. I want to know, how did you come up with this very interesting title of yours?
Well, oddly enough, of course, I am a former pastor's wife. And so early
Oh.
on in our 10-year ministry, I was sitting there doing praise and worship one Sunday, and the Lord, dropped that in my spirit. So you want to be a first lady. Now, this was in the very beginning times, of ministry. We'd only been in ministry, I think, maybe 3 years or so. And so the title just dropped in my spirit. So you want to be a first lady. And I'm like, okay. And he said it was a book he was calling me to write to be able to help first ladies and women in general. And so, of course, at the time,
Mm,
Jean, I'm like, who in the world am I going to help? Like I'm green, I'm new to this,
right.
we have not been in no ministry for a long time. Who's going to listen to little old me?
Right.
But hindsight now, 18, 20 years later, here we are. So God knows what we don't know. When he says that he knows our ending from the beginning, he knows it all. And so at that time, I
Exactly.
had no idea the magnitude of what he wanted to do through this work.
Exactly. And always God's plan is always better than us, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Exactly. Right. So wow, that's a very interesting, way to get to know the title of your book. And with that being said, can you share to us, the online viewers that we have right now, what's the story all about? Who is the
Well,
character? Right. Who's the character and how is she doing as a first lady?
well, the character in the book, it's surrounded by Pastor and First Lady Carol Smith. And so
Carol
Carol
Smith.
Smith, yep, Carol Smith is the First Lady here. And so it is that she never dreamed that she would be married to a man of great prominence. And so with that comes a lot of shenanigans sometimes, with the fame, fortune, whatever comes along with that. And so it
Yeah.
ended up being really a little more than what she bargained for. She didn't know what she
Ooh.
was getting into. And so, she had to deal with the countless women, that would throw
Uh-huh.
themselves, at her husband, just different things that happened, throughout the tenure of being in ministry there. And so it was a lot, to intake, a lot to endure. But through it
Right.
all, she had to figure out, what she was going to do. Is she going to, leave this marriage so that she can regain her peace of mind and sanity, or is she going to stay and weather through? I don't know. You might have to write the book and read the book
Oh,
and find out what she does.
ex- exactly. Exactly. Oh my God. It makes me interested to read and open the first page of your book.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
honey, you're going to
Oh,
be glued at the first words. Okay. You're going to be glued.
first word. Oh, I see that. Well, hopefully, I'll be able to touch the first copy of your book here in our office, and then yes, I'll be able to read some part of it. And I
Mhm.
believe our readers who've read your book actually gave you a very good reviews, right? I can see
Yeah.
that. Yeah, in Amazon, in Goodreads, and some other online retailers, I
Mhm.
can see some good reviews of your book, and I believe it's true.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
I see. Well, that's
Thank
very
you.
awesome, and I guess people who are actually in the same situation as the character Carol Smith
Mhm.
can relate to this book. One
Absolutely.
question. Is Tish Barnhardt the Carol Smith in the story?
Well, now, wouldn't inquiring minds like to know if Tish Barnhart is the character?
Oh my God, that's her.
So the character is a fictional character in the
I
book.
see.
So yeah, this is a fictional book. It's a cautionary tale. Now, it is certainly based on, or loosely based rather, on a true story, if
Abs-
that's what we want to know. I'm sure the inquiring minds want to know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They would love to. They would love to know about that one. All right. Since, this is a fictionated book, but at the same time it applies, real life lessons that we can totally
Absolutely.
apply in every situation that we have. So yes,
Absolutely.
were you having some troubles when you start writing this book? By the time the title popped up on your head through the spirit, were you having some struggles to write down the first word?
Well, of course, because that was back in maybe 2006, 2007 when God gave me the title to that book. And so I still have that
Ooh,
same book that I wrote it in that many years ago. And so
nice.
now, hindsight, now I'm separated, divorced. And so the book started coming back to me to be able to write. And so, quite
Yeah,
frankly, yes, I had many struggles, with
mini.
agreeing to do this book because of the magnitude of it and the truth that it brings
Right.
behind the closed doors of many of our churches, things that are going on. And not only that, it's really exposing a taboo topic, And so,
Mm,
with that being said, the first ladies oftentimes they suffer in silence, with the things that they endure, whether it's from their husbands, that are in
right.
leadership, or whether it's from the parishioners of the church, there's so many different things that she experiences. And so, with that being said, sometimes she doesn't feel that she has a voice, or she feels that she has to cover things for her own peace of mind or her family or whomever. And so
Right.
then at the same time, who's helping her? You know what I mean? Who can
Exactly.
she talk
Yes.
to? And oftentimes, this can be really a universal topic because it's not just a first lady that goes through these types
Mm,
of things.
that's
It could be
correct.
any woman, married to any man of great prominence, whether he's a basketball player or an NFL player, or a politician or whomever,
Right.
if he's got some level of authority or some level of fame, fortune, or whatever, the women flock to it. They want it. And some of them,
Exactly.
Jean, would do just about anything to get it, whether that's to lie, cheat, whatever it is, they will do it to get that spot.
I see. Yes, and I totally understand. Even myself can relate, although my husband is not that prominent. But then, yes,
Uh-huh.
there are always situations in our lives that sometimes we women totally flock to it and just, okay, we wanted to know where to get some help, what to do. And,
Yes.
there are cases that happen, right? That's a real
Absolutely.
life
And you know what,
situation.
Jane? At the end of each chapter, after you get all of the juice, of course, there are wisdom nuggets that God is giving us. He's given wisdom nuggets to the first lady,
Mm-hmm.
because there are things that we take that we probably shouldn't take, or ways that we can handle different situations. Because now,
Right.
some of this stuff you see in this book, people are mad at the first lady. They're mad at Carol Smith because, listen, honey, go.
Oh,
Yes, they're like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And then it
exactly.
challenges our faith walk, is what it's going to do. It's going to challenge you in every way imaginable. There's going to be many twists and turns, within, this book. And so it's going to make you look at how you would have handled a particular situation. So God gives nuggets to the first lady. He gives nuggets to the pastors, even as well.
Yes.
Sometimes whenever we are doing things, in life, we don't always know what we do. People can tell us, hey, you do this or you're doing that. And some things we do know, but we just do them anyway because of who we
Right.
are, right? And so he's giving nuggets to the pastor as well as the other women that want to be her. And my attorney friend, in an interview that we were doing, Jean, she in fact asked me, she was like, why speak to the other woman?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe you are actually speaking to the other woman that all these things happen. And so I said, well, the reason why, I said, is because God wants to help free them too. So
Exactly.
even though they may have been involved in, the demise maybe of the marriage or different things that happen within the marriage, God still loves them as well, right? And so sometimes we
Exactly.
are just, we're on a whim. Sometimes people fantasize, about their leaders or whatever they see in him,
Right.
attributes or things that they desire in their own personal man or their own
Right.
person that they desire, to have. And so sometimes with that, they fantasize about him and then they begin to want him.
True. Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly. And it's
indeed.
something that we cannot control, I believe so. It's
Mhm.
because it's others it's other women's thing anyway. All
Uh-huh.
right. So yes, just to cut you off, we actually have a very good review from our commenter from Facebook. So they love
Okay.
your energy and the way you love during our interview. Like, oh my God, thank you so much. I think
Thank
we're having
you.
that
Thank
energy
you,
and it's
Facebook.
shared. Exactly. And from our um viewer from YouTube, actually, this is the book that he recommended to his wife and her
Okay.
and the friends of her wife. Wow, I believe everyone can literally get something from your
Yes,
book,
they
and
will get
that
something from it.
absolutely. And I hope they will actually apply the nuggets that is in your book into their
Yes.
real life, so it will help them, think, decide in every situations that they have in their
Hmm.
day-to-day life, right? Okay,
Absolutely.
Tish. All right. So once again, everyone, the book of Tish is available in Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and of course her website www.tishbarnhardt.com and any other online retailers, right?
That's
Okay, so
right.
alrighty. So before wrapping up this interview, Tish, I wanna ask one question, one last question to you that will definitely leave something towards our online viewers today. What what message can this book give towards your readers?
So I think that this book is going to give a message of hope. To those that are out there that feel like, they don't have anyone that they can talk to. Whenever you're
Mm-hmm.
experiencing things in life, sometimes we clam up and we think that we are by ourselves whenever we are going through something. But this book here, once you start reading it, you're going to see yourself in some shape, form, or fashion. I have a 70-year-old lady who read this book in 2 days. Okay. A
Wow.
70-year-old lady said, "Oh my goodness, that book kept me up all night," because it's just that good. It's that many twists and turns. But at the end of the day, you out there have a story to tell. So whatever it
Exactly.
is that you've gone through in life, understand that it was for a greater purpose. And sometimes we look at our situations and we dim those situations down, but God wants to be able to use those situations for a purpose. So this is what I'm going to say to you: the pain or whatever that you're feeling right now, turn the pain into purpose. And when you turn it into
Right.
purpose, guess what? God's gonna pay you back. So it's payback
Exactly.
time now, honey. Okay, it's payback
Exactly. Thank you so much. Yes, that's amazing. And everyone did not forget that there's always hope. And
time.
as the idiom says, there's always a rainbow after the rain, right? Thank you so much,
Exactly.
everyone. Please, once again, we have here Tish Barnhardt, author of the book So You Want to Be a First Lady. Thank you so
Yes.
much for watching and see you again next time.
Bye.